Cast your mind back just a few years ago, and you may remember when premium Android smartphones reigned supreme. The likes of HTC, LG, and Samsung dominated the market, and we eagerly awaited the release of their next flagship device. Fortunately, things have changed now, and relatively inexpensive Android devices are quite commonplace. But many of them are poor quality and often lack standard features. Thankfully, this is no longer the case. Affordable Android phones are now able to give the big name flagship devices a run for their money. Case in point, the Nubia Z17 Lite. I'm James Frew from MakeUseOf.com, and thanks to GeekBuying.com, we have a Z17 Lite to give away to one lucky viewer. There's no denying that the Z17 Lite is a good looking device. The matte black body and gold trim look sleek, which is an achievement for a phablet sized phone, but it is slippy and susceptible to fingerprint marking. If you do choose to buy the Z17 Lite, a case is a must. The phone is bezel-less, which is an increasingly common trend. Initially I figured this might be a gimmick, but actually, surprisingly, the edge-to-edge display was very impressive. The bezel-less display helps the full-screen video seem more immersive too. Beneath the screen are 3 touch buttons, but only one of them is illuminated, leaving you to discover the other 2 in your own time. Following on from another recent trend, the Z17 Lite has no headphone jack, instead relying solely on Bluetooth connections. While there is a USB-C to 3.5mm converter provided, it's clear that Nubia sees Bluetooth as the future. There's also a fingerprint reader on the back of the device. It is a little on the small side though, which does occasionally lead to finger placement problems. Camera-wise, the Z17 Lite is equipped with a dual 13 megapixel camera on the rear and a 16 megapixel front-facing camera. Nubia has also custom designed their own camera app, which takes cues from both Samsung and Apple devices. The resulting images are reasonable and in line with most smartphone cameras. During the review, I used my Google Pixel as a reference point for comparison photos, which is maybe a little unfair because the Pixel is well known to have one of the best hardware and software setups for photos. In any case, the Z17 Lite's camera is functional, but nothing too exciting. If you're a photography enthusiast, then this probably isn't the device for you. It comes with a huge 64 gigabytes of internal storage, which is expandable up to 256 gigabytes. There is even dual SIM support, although one of the SIM card slots also acts as the slot for expandable storage. With all of that hardware packed into the body, you might be surprised to hear that the Z17 Lite is just 0.3 inches thick and weighs only 168 grams. The phone runs Android 7.1 Nougat, but with the Nubia UI 5.0 interface over the top. This is both a blessing and a curse. Affordable devices like this often only make minor adjustments to the underlying operating system, but Nubia has thankfully put the effort in to make their device stand out. Unfortunately, the Nubia UI is more of a mashup between Samsung's TouchWiz and iOS than anything new. The Nubia launcher is defined by its black and gold theme, with app icons placed into small squares, and instead of an apps list like you find on most Android phones, all of your installed apps are shown on the home screen, just as they are in iOS. If you're coming to the Z17 Lite from an iPhone or another Android device, you're likely to find the setup kind of confusing. iOS is intuitive, TouchWiz is attractive, Nubia UI tries to be both, but doesn't quite hit the mark on either. The Z17 Lite comes equipped with a relatively large 3200 mAh battery. We tested the Z17 Lite by putting on a YouTube video in full screen with full brightness and on full volume, and the phone lasted just about 6 hours before powering off. The Z17 Lite performs reasonably well on benchmarking test 2, and Tutu gives the device a score of 83,857, defeating 27% of users. The real-world performance bears this out too. Multitasking is a breeze, gameplay is fluid, and there is no lag. Nubia's Z17 Lite shows the power of Moore's Law. To find a phone stuffed with so many features is unusual, and at just $230, almost unheard of, especially because they've managed to achieve all this while still keeping an eye on the aesthetic design so that the phone still looks good. Sure, the camera may not be quite up to flagship standards, and the Nubia UI may be a little off-putting initially, but you're unlikely to find a better value device out there. Thanks again to GeekBuying.com, who kindly provided us a Z17 Lite to give away to one of you lucky viewers. Head over to the post, which is linked in the description, for the full review and details of how to enter. Subscribe to MakeUseOf for twice weekly giveaways and tech tutorials. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.